Darth Maul, fearsome Sith assassin, first apprentice of Darth Sidious and son of Mother Talzin. This Zabrak warrior was taught from an early age to hate the Jedi and trained in the mysteries of the dark side of the Force. His hatred was so intense, he longed for the day he could finally reveal himself to the galaxy and begin the Sith grand plan. As we know, Maul's patience would eventually pay off, and he was bestowed with the honour of declaring the Sith's existence to the Jedi after 1,000 years in hiding. This reveal was initially a triumphant one. Maul utilised his Sith training and his aggressive Form 7 fighting style to wear down his two Jedi opponents. After the pair were separated, Maul struck Qui Gon in the face with his lightsaber hilt, before impaling him in the chest with his lightsaber. However, hubris and arrogance would eventually get the better of him. After seemingly besting Obi-Wan and achieving the high ground, Maul thought the battle was over. However, mustering all his strength in the Force, Kenobi pushed himself up from the shaft and cut Maul in two with Qui-Gon's lightsaber. Maul's bisected body was sent tumbling down the bottomless shaft, seemingly spelling the end for the Sith Lord. Despite this horrific fate, Maul survived, returning to the galaxy once again after a decade in exile. In mere months, Maul rose once again to power, asserting his dominance over every major crime syndicate, while also claiming the Darksaber and the Mandalorian throne as his own, threatening the plans of even Palpatine himself. But how on earth did Maul survive being cut in half and falling thousands of feet down a reactor shaft? And how did he end up eking out a miserable existence for over a decade on a planet thousands of light years away from Naboo? Moments after he was cut in half at the hands of Obi Wan Kenobi, Maul realised the full extent of the peril he now faced. Dark-side emotions of anger and hatred welled up inside of him as he focused all of his pain on staying alive and remaining conscious. Although the cauterization of the severe wound and his unique Zabrak biology no doubt played a role in preventing him from bleeding out and dying before he hit the bottom of the shaft, it was the dark side of the Force that aided in his survival most of all. Much like Darth Sion, who preceded him, and Vader, who came after, Maul was able to keep his vital bodily functions working through sheer hatred and willpower alone. Possibly through the will of the Force, or maybe just through sheer luck, Maul did not end up as a red puddle at the bottom of the reactor shaft. What happened next remains unclear, with the events no doubt distorted by Maul's compromised mental state. Some sources state that the bottom of the reactor shaft contained a thick ooze of waste chemicals, breaking his fall. Others state that Maul used all his hatred to grab onto an air vent, causing his body to tumble down a different shaft. Either way, Maul ended up laying at the bottom of a pit, floating in a pool of chemical waste. Soon after, the shaft began to shudder, and Maul was swept into a whirlpool of toxic gloop. Lightsaber firmly in his grasp, Maul found himself locked in a tank of chemical waste, which was soon transported onto a ship. As the ship departed Naboo, Maul focused upon his Sith teachings and his hatred, repeating the name of his now archenemy, Kenobi. After a long while, in pure darkness, the tank of chemical waste was dumped on the outer rim planet of Lotho Minor, a planet that served as a dump for the galaxy's rubbish. Using his last remaining strength, Maul ignited his lightsaber and burst open the tank, letting out a deafening scream. In a bid to replenish some energy, Maul began feasting on the vile insects that infested this ruined world. However, his feast was interrupted by the screams of a strange worm-like creature known as Morley. He was being chased by one of the enormous rubbish-eating droids, dubbed the Fire Breathers, that roamed Lotho Minor. In a bid to protect himself from this monstrosity, Maul used every ounce of strength to throw his lightsaber at the droid's head, cleaving out its central processing unit. As the droid collapsed in a heap of metal and fire, Maul passed out, this last act of self-preservation finally overcoming the Sith Lord. However, Morley saw great potential in Maul. Lotho Minor was a harsh and unforgiving planet. Maul would make a very useful ally. Instead of just leaving him to die on the barren surface of this junk planet, Morley dragged the Sith assassin inside a cave which would become Maul's sanctuary for the next 10 years. When he awoke, Maul once again focused on his anger, his hatred, but most of all his lust for revenge against Kenobi. As blood poured from his mouth, Maul used ancient Sith and Night Sister dark magic to fashion himself 6 arachnid cybernetic legs out of scraps of metal and junk. Over the next decade, Maul would live off a diet of insects, vermin, and unsuspecting victims lured in by Morley. The trauma, regret, and pain twisted the Sith assassin's mind as the dark side of the Force corrupted his body, until there was almost nothing left of this once cold and calculating Dark Lord of the Sith. Only one part of Maul still remained: his lust for revenge against Kenobi. Many years later, during the height of the Clone Wars, Mother Talzin would send Maul's long-lost brother, Savage Opress, to Lothar Minor in the search for Maul. With the help of a Night Sister talisman, Opress tracked down Maul to Lothar Minor in 20 BBY. However, after foolishly befriending Morley, he was betrayed and Opress was thrown into the depths of Maul's cave. Maul immediately fought him until the bewildered Opress revealed himself as the Sith's long-lost brother. When Opress inquired about Maul's legs, the insane Sith recounted how they had been taken from him by a Jedi. He was later returned to Dathomir, where he was treated both physically and psychologically by Mother Talzin. Talzin utilised her power to cure Darth Maul's madness and reassemble his spider-like mechanical legs into a more humanoid shape from the destroyed parts of super battle droids. When he awoke, his mind and body were functional once again. Maul noted that the Force was out of balance, and Opress informed him that the Clone Wars had already begun. Angry that it had started without him, the two Zabrak brothers began their quest for power and pursuit of revenge against Obi Wan Kenobi. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out this video on the heartbreaking early life of General Grievous. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to VF2 for more daily Star Wars videos. Thanks for watching guys, and as always, may the Force be with you.